Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Allie. It's been a minute. This is sort of going to be my July TBR video, loosely. I'm trying to set myself up for success here and pick books that I really think that I'm going to love. So some of these are older, but then I also want to talk about new releases that are coming out in July. Also, I'm about to hit 200 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed, but you're watching, and I'm not that annoying yet, consider hitting that button. I reorganized my bookshelf, so it looks really big because I have it like this, but because I keep buying books, there's not too much room to see everything, so I have to put the books that I've already read in the back. You can kind of see them back there. And then everything in the front is things that I've either started and haven't completed or haven't started at all. So there are some books that I've gotten lately that I think are gonna be great. The first one is Out There by Kate Folk. These are short stories. I think it's sci-fi, and I think they're supposed to be a little gory, also really weird, but also maybe funny and also maybe sexy. That's a good mixture. I guess the title story was originally published in the New Yorker. It's about a woman in San Francisco using dating apps to find a partner despite the threat posed by blots, which are preternaturally handsome artificial men dispatched by Russian hackers to steal data. But then in another story, someone falls in love with a blot. I've heard it being compared a lot to How High We Go in the Dark by Sequoia Nagamatsu, which I really did like. I give it 4 stars. It wasn't very sciencey for me. However, I feel like I'm gonna like this one more because it is maybe more bizarre, which is weird because there's a talking pig in this. Okay, and this one, I'm sure all of you have read this. It is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. Also, I'm just going on a whim here. I have not planned this, so I'm kind of scared. This, I believe, is about a woman who made a deal with the devil, and she can live forever, but no one remembers who she is. And so it's her life over a long time. But I also think there's a romance in here. I think I'm really going to like it. See, the risk of saying that is that my expectations are now heightened, and that's never a good thing in my opinion. What else? I got this a little while ago. I think it was in my last haul. And I think it's just gonna be weird and creepy. Oh, and then Literally Low, I will link her video where she read this book. She read like a bunch of purple books. She does this color series, and she absolutely loved this. I've seen Brandy Sandy's name everywhere, but I've never read one of his books. Oh my God, this is so soft, I'm sorry. And just based on that vlog that I watched, I had to get it because it sounds really good. I think it's kind of slow paced at first, and then it's really good. And I think the last thing from here is this book, Our Wives Under the Sea by Julia Armfield. I've been so excited for this for months and months, so I think it's time to read it. It's short. Every single person who's read it has loved it, so it's my turn. Next, we have a couple books that I started in June that I haven't finished, but that I really, really liked while I was reading it. The one I'm furthest along in is Our Crooked Hearts by Melissa Albert. This came out, I think, June 28th or something. I got an arc, like a real arc, and I got to page 147, and so far, absolutely loved it. I read it in like one sitting, just like half of the book pretty much. It's a very witchy kind of occult book, and it follows 2 timelines, 2 perspectives, a mother and a daughter, both when they're teenagers. And so far, I don't know how we're going to connect the 2 timelines. So there is kind of a mysterious feeling to it, but also it's just kind of witchy, and it's fun. It's also very, very well written. Like, listen to this sentence. Marion didn't believe in hauntings, not really, but that floor of the library felt layered, let's say. You could feel the way history accreted there, laying its scaly paw over your neck. Ooh. Then I have an actual thriller. I don't read too many thrillers, but I'd heard so many things. I think this was published in either late 2019 or early 2020. It's Ruth Ware's The Turn of the Key. I only got 30 pages into this, and immediately I was like, oh, this is amazing, because it's sort of in letter form. We are introduced to our main character who is imprisoned for a crime that she says she did not commit. And then she's taking us back now to when she was hired as a nanny. And I think she's accused of killing the young girl. But just the way it's formatted, like in letter form, it's so intriguing because it's like, oh wait, do we trust this bitch or not? And then lastly, Cult Classic by Sloane Crosley. I think I got 50 pages into this. I had previously started it because I got the ebook from NetGalley, and then I deleted my NetGalley because I don't like ebooks. So I just bought the damn thing. But so far it's very, very well written. It's like literary, but also approachable in a way. And it's funny, but it's also kind of could be very, very sad. So far, it's about this woman who is seeing, I guess she's going to start seeing her ex-boyfriends. I've only seen one so far, 50 pages in. But it's also about her old boss, who is kind of like a mystical guru. So there is this kind of mystical feeling, and I don't know if it's going to take an actual magical turn or if it's just the atmosphere. And if it is the atmosphere, it's damn good. Guys, I forgot to say that I started this last night. It's Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. So far, it's great. So expecting to like this one too. Okay, so this is my stack right now. And that's probably all I'm gonna get to. However, I've already pre-ordered a couple things. Come with me. So I pre-ordered a couple things that came out on Tuesday, which was July 5th. The first one is called Life Ceremony by Sayaka Murata. She's the author of Convenience Store Woman, which I loved. A lot of these, I don't know the book synopsis very well, but I do know this is short stories. It says it's a cocktail of humor and horror, and some of them are in the past, some of them are in the present, some of them are in the future, but that all of the characters seem strange or abnormal to their peers. And I feel like the best thing about Convenience Store Woman were sort of the societal pressures being turned on their heads. And I hope that's what I get from this short story collection. Okay, the next one is one that I normally wouldn't pre-order. This is called The Pallbearers Club by Paul Tremblay. Okay, so it's about this dude named Art. It's back in the 80s and he makes this friend, this girl who works in a morgue, I think. Some weird shit happens, so Art makes this memoir, but then the girl, what's her name? Oh, it doesn't really say. She's making edits to it in the future. So I don't know what's going on, but I feel like there's going to be murder. It says it's a psychological thriller and it's going to play with like, wait, who's telling the truth here? I love that shit, but I also love the kind of mixed media element that this is promising to be. And then we have Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. I think some of you have probably seen this because it's a book of the month pick, but this author had previously written a couple YA books that I was obsessed with in like the 2000s. Okay, so we have Elsewhere, and this is the weirdest. I'm pretty sure this is the book where this girl died and she's brought to like whatever heaven is. But the way it works in that afterlife is that you grow backwards in age. And then when you're a baby, you go down this river and you're like reincarnated. But like you learn lessons as you're growing down. It was very interesting. And then I also read Memoirs of a Teenage Amnesiac. I don't remember this at all, but I liked it. Both of these books I read in like middle school. They were released in 2005, 2007. So I'm very interested. First of all, this cover is amazing, but also I'd like to see if I still like love the writing of this author without having to reread those books, because it's like I have fond memories of those books. I don't want to ruin it by rereading it as an adult. This book, however, is adult. It's about two friends who are often in love but never lovers. They come together as creative partners in the world of video game design. That actually sounds kind of boring. Spanning 30 years, oh wow. Okay, actually, I'm a little worried about this. It sounds like a coming to fame and realizing that money can't buy you happiness kind of story, which I actually detest. I've liked this author's writing in the past, so I'm gonna give her a chance. And then at some point, I'm going to probably get all of these books. So let me there's like a little blurb on Goodreads. I'm just gonna read that blurb for all of these. This is a memoir and essays, which is pretty interesting. It's kind of like short stories. It's a collection of essays that echo the work of Cheryl Strayed, I don't know who that is, in their revelatory observations of romantic love. It sounds interesting. Then we have Upgrade by Blake Crouch. I have never read a Blake Crouch book. My friend read Dark Matter back in like 2017 or whatever it came out, and she absolutely loved it. So that's always been something I've been wanting to read. But now I kind of just like want to start with this book because everyone's going to be talking about it. Logan Ramsey is about to get the brain he always dreamed of, but will he be transformed as something more than human or something less? Ooh. The mind-blowing new thriller from the New York Times bestselling author, blah, blah, blah. And then obviously What Moves the Dead by T. King Fisher, which Tor sent me a little poster, which I have now blocked with my bookshelf. This is a gripping and atmospheric retelling of Edgar Allan Poe's classic, The Fall of the House of Usher. I'm a Poe ho, so I'm ready to go. Oh my God. Oh, and then briefly, A Delicious Life. This was another NetGalley book that I was approved for that I never read because I deleted my account. However, it's a debut novel from an award-winning writer. How does that work? Oh, I guess this author, Nell Stevens, has written short story collections before. A lively, daring ghost story about a teenage girl who falls in love with a writer who doesn't know she exists. Okay, wait, that sounds amazing. Just Like Home. I feel like everyone's seen this cover. It's beautiful. This one doesn't have a blurb, so let me just read it. Come home, Vera's mother called, and Vera obeyed. In spite of their long estrangement, in spite of the memories, she's come back to the home of a serial killer, back to face the love she had for her father and the bodies he buried there. Coming home is hard enough for Vera, and to make things worse, she and her mother aren't alone. A parasitic artist has moved into the guest house out back and is slowly stripping Vera's childhood for spare parts. He insists that he isn't the one leaving notes around the house in her father's handwriting, but who else could it possibly be? There are secrets yet undiscovered in the foundations of the notorious Crowder house. Vera must face them and find out for herself just how deep the rot goes. So it sounds like a gothic kind of story. Ooh, then we have the Book of Gothel. This is about the witch in the Rapunzel story. And then Night Shift, The Night Shift, which is like the third Night Shift book that's come out this year. I started this one and it was really good. I've heard mixed things about this one. This one, it's sort of a time or maybe portal, sort of light sci-fi. Oh, what was that movie where like you could go through doors in the city if you had a hat? It sounds like that. And then we have another Ruth Ware release called The It Girl, which honestly the title made me want to get it because I love stories about an it girl, especially if she's like secretly a murderer or being murdered.
I know you want to kiss me.
I don't really want to read the synopsis of that because I don't want to know too much. I'm definitely going to prioritize these and then whatever I actually end up buying, but I'm probably not going to read. I definitely will not be reading all of those books I just mentioned in the month of July. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Wish me luck. I'm very excited. I feel like I've got a good group of books here and I've got some good books coming to me. Let me know if you've read any of these and if you enjoyed them or maybe if you hated them. I feel like that could be fun. Also, if you see any books on here that you absolutely loved and you think that, you know, the majority of humans would like it, like a lot, let me know if you can see any of these. All right, I'm outie.